Small town cafe day. Soft sunlight filters through the window. Light chatter and clinking dishes fill the background. Ella, civilian, kind eyes, wearing a simple sundress, sits at a small table, sketching in a notebook. Her eyes flicker up to the window, watching the street. She spots Liam, soldier, clean cut, wearing a military uniform, walking past. Their eyes meet. Time seems to pause. Ella was just a glance. Nothing more. But somehow, in that moment, it felt like everything changed. Liam slows his pace but keeps walking, his gaze lingering on Ella until he's out of sight. Small town cafe, later. Ella sits at the same table, her sketchbook open, but her pencil is still. Her gaze is distant, replaying the moment. Her friend, Mwai, energetic, wearing a hoodie and jeans, plops down in the chair across from her, snapping Ella out of her thoughts. Maya earth to Ella. What's up with you? You've been staring out that window like you're waiting for Prince Charming. Ella smirks, closing her sketchbook, more like a passing thought. Nothing serious. Maya grins, leaning forward. A passing thought, wearing a uniform? Huh? Spill it. Who's the mystery man? Ella shakes her head. No one. Just someone walking by. Maya grinning wider. And I'm the Queen of England. Come on, Ella, I know that look. Ella's smile fades as she stares down at her sketchbook. She's drawn a rough outline of Liam's face. Ella, softly, I don't even know his name. Maya, doesn't matter. Fate's weird like that. If it's meant to be, he'll walk through that door any second now. They both glance toward the entrance, half joking, but no one walks in. Maya snickers, and Ella shakes her head, laughing. Maya grinning, worth a shot. Small town cafe. A few days later. The cafe is busier today. Ella's at her usual table, headphones in, sketching with more focus. The bell above the door chimes. She glances up instinctively, and her heart skips. It's Liam, still in uniform, scanning the room. Their eyes meet. His expression shifts from searching to something softer. He walks toward the counter, glancing at her with every few steps. Ella's fingers tighten around her pencil. Maya's words echo in her mind. If it's meant to be, he'll walk through that door any second now. At the counter, Liam places his order, but looks back at Ella. Their gazes lock. Slowly, she removes her headphones and sets her pencil down. Liam, nodding toward her, you're an artist? Ella's lips part, surprised he's talking to her. Ella, something like that. Liam's smile is small but genuine. He picks up his coffee cup, hesitates, then takes a step toward her. Liam, mind if I sit? Ella's heart races, but she nods, gesturing to the seat across from her. Ella, go ahead. Liam sits, setting his cup down. For a moment, there's silence. It's not awkward, just still. Liam, I'm Liam, by the way. Ella's smile returns, soft but certain. Ella. Their eyes meet again, and this time, it's not just a glance. It's something more. Community center, night. People gather for a small town event. Laughter and music fill the air. Children chase each other around tables, and couples dance in the center of the room. The warm glow of string lights hangs overhead, casting a golden hue. Ella stands near a refreshment table, carefully pouring herself a cup of punch. Her eyes scan the crowd, taking in the joyful chaos with a small, content smile. She's dressed simply but elegantly, her sleeves rolled up just enough to hint at her practical nature. Liam appears beside her, his movements purposeful but easy, like someone used to being aware of his surroundings. His eyes glance toward her hands as she pours. Liam, you have a steady hand. Artist, huh? Ella, smiling, glancing at him. And you have a sharp eye. Soldier, huh? They both smile. The spark is undeniable. Liam smirks, leaning a little closer, guilty as charged. But I'm off duty tonight. You? Ella raises her cup in a mock toast. Always on duty. Artist's mind never really clocks out. Liam grins. That's fair. Must be nice seeing the world in color all the time. Ella chuckles, taking a sip of her drink. And I'd bet you're used to seeing it in black and white. Liam taps the side of his head, more like shades of gray. Makes it easier to spot what's real. There's a pause, but it's not uncomfortable. They're both quietly sizing each other up. Ella so, What brings a soldier to a small-town event like this? Liam smirks, folding his arms. Came to visit family. Figured I'd show my face before they start calling me a ghost. Ella family guilt trip. Classic. Liam, you know it. What about you? Ella grins playfully. Free food, good music, and interesting company. What more could I want? They're both smiling now, the tension between them shifting from caution to curiosity. Liam, sounds like you've got it all figured out. Ella tilts her head, eyes glinting, not quite. But I'm getting there. They're quiet for a moment, letting the sounds of the event fill the space between them. A slow song starts playing, and couples begin pairing off on the dance floor. Liam, gesturing toward the dance floor. You dance, artist? Ella grins, raising an eyebrow. Do soldiers? Liam steps back, offering a hand, only when the right partner asks. Ella looks at his hand for a moment, like she's considering. Then, with a smile that's half challenge, half curiosity, she takes it. The music swells. They move to the center of the dance floor, their steps slow but steady. They're close now, closer than strangers should be, but neither of them seems to mind. Ella quietly looking up at him. So, soldier, what's real right now? Liam, eyes locked on hers. This. They keep dancing as the world around them fades into the soft glow of the lights and the sound of the music. Quiet street sunset. Ella and Liam walk side by side down a quiet street awash in the soft glow of the setting sun. Their fingers sway ever so closely, but never quite touch. Ella glances up at Liam, her eyes full of quiet curiosity. Liam notices his smile small but warm, as if sharing an unspoken secret. The only sounds are distant birdsong and the crunch of gravel underfoot. Cozy cafe day. Ella sits at a small round table, her sketch pad open in front of her. Her pencil moves swiftly, capturing Liam's face with soft, deliberate strokes. Liam sits across from her, his chin resting on his hand as he watches her with quiet admiration. Sunlight filters through the window, illuminating the soft edges of his face. He tilts his head, his grin growing wider. Liam, playful. Am I really that serious looking? Ella glances at him, her lips curving into a sly smile. Ella, teasing. I'm just drawing what I see. She returns to her work, her eyes flicking up and down from Liam to the page. Riverside, late afternoon. The river glimmers with golden light as Liam kneels on the bank, a compass in his hand. Ella crouches next to him, her brows furrowed in concentration as she mimics his grip on a smaller compass. Her tongue pokes out slightly in focus. Liam, encouraging, twist it slowly until the needle finds north. You'll feel it click. Ella's eyes narrow as she follows his instruction. Her lips part in surprise when the needle aligns, and she lets out a triumphant gasp. Ella, grinning. I did it. Liam, laughing, natural explorer right here. Their laughter echoes across the water, mixing with the sound of rushing currents. City street night. The world is quiet save for the distant hum of city lights. Liam and Ella walk side by side beneath a canopy of streetlights, their faces aglow with golden halos. Their steps fall in sync. Their hands brush once, twice. Then, finally, Liam's fingers slide into Ella's. Her eyes flick to him in surprise, but she doesn't pull away. Instead, she squeezes his hand, her smile so wide it crinkles the corners of her eyes. They walk like that for a while, wordless but not silent, their hearts beating in rhythm with their footsteps. The world beyond them fades away. Liam's barracks night. Dim lighting casts long shadows on the cold metallic walls. A faint hum of distant machinery echoes in the background. Liam, lean, sharp-eyed, sits on his bunk, his posture tense. He's reading a letter, his eyes scanning each word as if it's the only warmth in the room. A faint, tired smile flickers on his face. Suddenly, the sharp clank of a door latch echoes. Sergeant Marshall, gruff, firm stance, steps in, his heavy boots thudding against the floor with a deliberate, no-nonsense rhythm. He's all angles, sharp jawline, eyes like stone, and a scowl carved into his face. Sergeant Marshall. Don't get too comfortable, Liam. Relationships with civilians are frowned upon. You know the rules. Liam's jaw tightens. He lowers the letter slowly, his fingers folding it with care, then tucks it into his chest pocket like it's a sacred relic. Liam. Yes, sir. Silence lingers, thick and heavy. Marshall's eyes narrow, scanning Liam's face for cracks in his resolve. Sergeant Marshall. Yes, sir, isn't the same as I'll handle it, sir. I've seen this before. Soldier. It's a distraction. Distractions get you killed. Liam's eyes flicker with defiance, but he keeps his face still, a mask of obedience. Liam. Understood, sir. Marshall steps forward, closing the distance between them. His shadow looms over Liam like a storm cloud. Sergeant Marshall. Understood isn't enough, Corporal. You're here to serve, not dream. That's what the brass expect. That's what I expect. Liam's fingers twitch on his knee, his breathing slow but controlled. He's holding something back, something boiling just beneath the surface. Liam. With all due respect, sir, dreams are what keep us alive. They're what's waiting for us on the other side. Marshall's eyes narrow further, his lips pressing into a thin line. For a moment, neither of them speak. The distant hum of the machinery fills the silence. Sergeant Marshall. Don't mistake sentiment for strength, soldier. Sentiment's a rope that'll strangle you if you're not careful. Marshall's gaze stays locked on Liam for a beat longer. Then he turns and walks toward the door. Sergeant Marshall, without looking back. Get your head straight, Corporal. Morning drills at 0500. No excuses. With a heavy metallic thud, the door swings shut behind him. The faint echo of his footsteps fades. Liam's eyes stay locked on the door for a moment longer. He exhales slowly, then pulls the letter from his pocket. His thumb brushes over the name at the top. Elena. His eyes soften. He unfolds it again, his eyes scanning the words like they're a lifeline. Liam quietly. Sentiment's the only thing keeping me from turning into stone like you, Sergeant. Liam's gaze hardens with quiet resolve. He folds the letter once more and places it back into his pocket, patting it twice for good measure. The faint hum of machinery continues as he leans forward, his hands clasped, his eyes distant but sharp. A soldier ready for war, but not ready to forget what's waiting for him when it's over. Ella's apartment night. Ella's small apartment feels cozy, but cluttered with sketches and art supplies. Dim, warm light from a desk lamp highlights the mess of creativity that surrounds her. The faint sound of city traffic hums in the background. Ella's phone buzzes on the table next to an open sketch pad. She picks it up, glancing at the screen. Her face softens. She swipes to answer. Ella. Hey you. Liam, through phone, voice low. Hey, I can't stay on long. Things are getting stricter here. Ella's smile falters, but doesn't disappear entirely. She sits cross-legged on the couch, tucking a blanket around herself. Ella, then say everything you need to in 30 seconds. They both smile, though sadness lingers in the quiet between them. Liam, through phone, soft, sincere. I'd say that you're the reason I'm counting down the days until leave. I'd say you're the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. And I'd say I'm scared of what comes next. Ella's eyes glisten. Her fingers trace the edge of the sketchpad. Ella, voice cracking. Me too. A long pause stretches between them like a taut string on the verge of snapping. Liam, through phone, barely above a whisper. But we'll figure it out, right? Ella, nodding, wiping her eyes. Yeah, we always do. Liam's soft breath of a laugh comes through the phone, and for a moment, it's like he's sitting right beside her. Liam, through phone. I've gotta go. Ella's grip on the phone tightens, like she's holding on to him through it. Ella, be safe, okay? Liam, through phone, firm but warm. Always. The line clicks. Silence floods in. Ella closes her eyes, tilting her head back against the couch. Her breathing slows, steady but heavy. Her gaze drifts to the sketchpad. She grabs a pencil, hesitates, then starts drawing. Her strokes are sharp at first, but they soften with each line. Her focus narrows to the paper. The faint image of a soldier's silhouette takes shape. Broad shoulders, head slightly bowed. The pencil breaks. Ella sighs, rubs her eyes, then reaches for another. Military barracks night. Liam sits on the edge of a narrow bunk, his phone still in his hand. His eyes are distant, heavy with exhaustion and thought. A fellow soldier, Jake, passes by and nudges him with a grin. "Jake? Ella again?" Liam, small smile. "Yeah, Jake. She's got you bad, man." Liam's gaze hardens with quiet resolve. "Liam, she's got me good." Jake chuckles, shakes his head, and moves on. Liam's eyes shift back to his phone. He taps the screen, opening a photo of Ella, smiling, messy hair, paint smudged on her cheek. He stares at it like it's the only still thing in a spinning world. He closes his eyes, lets out a slow breath, and pockets the phone. His jaw tightens as he stands, adjusting his uniform. The distant sound of orders being shouted echoes in the background. His eyes lock forward, sharp and unwavering. Ella's apartment. Later that night. Ella's sketch is finished. The soldier stands tall now, his shoulders squared. A faint smile curls on her lips. Her fingers trace over the drawing. Her phone buzzes again. She's quick to grab it, but it's just a weather alert. Her breath leaves her in a shaky laugh. She sets the phone down and stares at it for a moment longer. Her eyes drift back to the soldier on the page. She writes something small in the corner of the sketch. "Come home safe. Town Square Day. Rain drizzles lightly." Ella stands under an umbrella, scanning the crowd. Liam's bus pulls in. Soldiers disembark, one by one, each greeted by family or loved ones. Finally, Liam steps off the bus. Their eyes meet. Ella's heart pounds. Liam's face softens with relief. They walk toward each other. Their embrace is firm and desperate. Ella whispering, "Welcome home, soldier." Liam whispering back, "I'm home." They stay like that for a moment, rain dripping off the edge of Ella's umbrella. A soft smile breaks through Ella's tears. "Ella, I didn't think I'd ever see you again." Liam, "I promised you, didn't I?" Ella, choking back a laugh. "You're terrible at keeping promises." Liam, grinning, "Not this time." He pulls back just enough to cup her face in his hands. Their foreheads touch. The rain picks up, but neither of them notice. "Liam, I'm here now. I'm not going anywhere." Ella nods, eyes closed, holding on tighter. "Ella, good. Because if you did, I'd have to drag you back myself." They both laugh softly, still holding each other as if afraid to let go. Ella's apartment night. A dimly lit living room. A single lamp casts a warm glow. Ella sits on the couch, her legs curled under her. She's wearing Liam's old army hoodie, too big for her frame. There's a knock at the door. Ella's heart skips. She rises slowly, her eyes on the door as if it's a dream that might vanish if she moves too quickly. She opens it. It's Liam, soaking wet from the rain, holding a bag of takeout and a crooked smile on his face. "Liam, I figured you'd be hungry." Ella's eyes well with fresh tears. She's laughing before she even realizes it. "Ella, you're ridiculous." "Liam, you're welcome." She pulls him inside, tugging at his jacket as he kicks off his soaked boots. "Ella, go shower before you freeze." "Liam, only if you'll share the noodles." "Ella, deal." They both grin at each other like it's the first day of the rest of their lives. The door closes behind them, shutting out the rain. Dine night. Quiet atmosphere. The faint hum of a jukebox plays in the background. Liam and Ella sit in a booth, leaning close together. The glow of the diner lights casts a soft warmth over them. "Liam, there's talk of a new post. Overseas." Ella, looking up, concern in her eyes. "How long?" Liam, "A year. Maybe more." Silence. Ella's gaze drops to their intertwined hands on the table. She takes a deep breath. Ella, determined, squeezing his hands. "Then I'll wait. I'll draw every day and send them to you. You'll know you're not alone." Liam's eyes search hers, full of doubt and quiet admiration. "Liam, you're something else. You know that?" Ella, smirking but eyes shining with emotion. "Yeah, I've heard." They share a small, quiet laugh. The waitress approaches, setting down 2 steaming mugs of coffee. "Waitress, anything else for you 2 lovebirds?" Liam, shaking his head, smiling softly. "We're good, thanks." The waitress walks away, leaving them in the stillness of their own world. Ella traces the rim of her coffee mug, her gaze far off. Ella, where's the post this time? Liam, sighing, Northern Province. Remote. Quiet. You'd hate it. Ella laughs softly. Yeah, probably. No galleries for miles, huh? Liam, nope. Just snow, radio static, and the smell of diesel fuel. Silence settles in again. But it's not heavy. It's the kind of quiet that comes from knowing someone's not going anywhere. Ella, pulling out her sketch pad from her bag. Then I'd better get started. No sense wasting time. She flips it open and starts sketching, her pencil moving across the paper with calm precision. Liam watches her for a moment, a soft smile tugging at his lips. Liam, you're really gonna do it? Huh? Ella, glancing up, grinning every single day. They fall into an easy rhythm. Liam sipping his coffee, Ella sketching. The world outside the diner's frosted windows feels distant, like it's paused for them. Liam, hey, draw me something now. Ella, raising an eyebrow. You're right here. Liam, yeah, but I want to see what I look like in your head. She eyes him playfully, then narrows her gaze like she's sizing him up. Her pencil starts moving again. Her eyes dart between him and the page. Ella, okay, but don't complain if I draw your ears too big. Liam laughs. You wouldn't dare. For a while, there's only the sound of the pencil scratching paper and the soft clink of Liam's coffee cup against the saucer. Ella, you're frowning too much. Liam, lifting an eyebrow. I'm not frowning. Ella, yes, you are. It's your serious soldier face. I'm capturing it perfectly. Liam, grinning despite himself. Serious soldier face, huh? I'll remember that. She glances up, their eyes meeting. Her smile fades into something softer, more tender. Ella, you'd better. I'm only drawing you once. Liam, quiet, sincere. You're drawing me every day. A pause as the weight of it settles between them. He reaches out and brushes a lock of hair behind her ear. Liam, Sintid, I'm gonna miss you, Ella. Ella, whispering, eyes locked on his. Not as much as I'll miss you. The hum of the jukebox shifts to a new song. Soft, slow, like a lullaby for late nights and long distances. Liam's hand stays on hers. No words. None needed. Barracks day. Liam stands in line with his fellow soldiers. Letters are passed out. He receives one. It's from Ella. He opens it to find a sketch of two hands clasped together. Beneath it, she's written, "Wherever you are, we're still holding on." He smiles, tucking it into his chest pocket. Mess hall night. Soldiers sit around, eating their rations, their faces worn with exhaustion. The air hums with quiet conversation. Liam sits at a corner table, his eyes occasionally flicking to the pocket where Ella's letter rests. Beside him, James, a fellow soldier, nudges him. James, grinning. Got something from home, huh? Lucky you. My girl's probably forgotten I'm alive. Liam, smirking. She's probably waiting for you to write first, James. James laughs. Fair point. What'd she say? Liam hesitates for a moment, then pulls out the sketch. He places it on the table. James' eyes soften as he takes it in. James, that's something, man. Pure love right there. She's got you hooked. Liam, smiling to himself. Yeah, she does. They sit in silence for a beat, letting the weight of the moment settle. The world outside the mess hall feels distant. Training grounds morning. Soldiers run drills in the cold dawn light. The sound of boots crunching on gravel echoes through the air. Liam's breath comes in short puffs, sweat dripping down his brow. He's focused, pushing himself harder than usual. Sergeant Hawkins, barking commands. Keep moving, Campbell. You think the enemy's gonna give you a break? Liam's eyes narrow, his jaw clenches. He's running faster now, each step heavier, but more determined. Dormitory night. The dormitory is dimly lit, filled with the soft sounds of soldiers snoring and the occasional creak of a bunk bed. Liam sits on his bunk with a small notepad in hand. He's writing a letter. Liam, Dear Ella, got your drawing today. You always know how to hit me right in the heart, don't you? Training's been rough, but I'm hanging in there. Every time it gets too hard, I think of those hands of ours holding on tight. You're the reason I keep moving. Can't wait to see you again. Soon. I promise. Love, Liam. He pauses, rereads it, then adds a small sketch of two hands clasped together at the bottom. A faint smile crosses his face as he folds it up. Ella's apartment night. Ella sits by the window, gazing out at the night sky. Her sketchbook is open on her lap. A candle flickers on the table. Ella, we're told that love should be easy. But the truth is, love's a battlefield all its own. And just like any battle, it's worth fighting for. She picks up her pencil and begins to draw, her strokes slow and deliberate. Her eyes are filled with quiet determination. Art gallery day. The gallery buzzes with the hum of conversation. Paintings and sketches line the white walls. Ella's artwork stands out. A series of portraits depicting raw, unfiltered emotions. Ella stands near one of her pieces, nervously adjusting the cuff of her jacket. Her best friend, Lena, approaches, holding 2 glasses of wine. Lena, you've got them hooked, Ella. Look at them. Can't tear their eyes away. They both glance at a small group of people admiring Ella's work. One woman wipes away a tear. Ella, smirking, maybe they're just confused. Lena, grinning, confused? Girl, they're moved. Big difference. They share a small laugh. Ella's eyes flick back to the group, her smile fading slightly. Lena, noticing. Hey, what's that look? Ella, I'm just thinking. You ever wonder if people see the whole story? Or if they're just seeing the parts they want to see? Lena, raising an eyebrow, pretty sure that's the whole point of art, Elle. Ella's gaze lingers on one of her portraits, a woman's face split in two, one side smiling, the other in tears. Ella's apartment. Night flashback. Ella's pencil moves rapidly across the page. Her breathing is shallow, her movements frantic. The candle's light dances wildly as if matching her intensity. A text notification lights up her phone on the table. The name, James. Text from James. We need to talk. Can I come over? Ella's hand freezes. Her eyes narrow at the phone. Ella, some battles come to you. Others, you have to face head on. She sets the pencil down and picks up the phone, her fingers hovering over the screen. She takes a deep breath, then types a response. Text to James, not tonight. I'm done fighting for things that only hurt. She places the phone face down on the table. Her eyes shift to the half-finished sketch, the woman's tearful side more defined than the smiling one. Art gallery day present. Lena nudges Ella's arm. Lena, you're thinking too much. Smile. This is your moment. Ella's face softens. She takes a slow breath, eyes scanning the room. Ella, they say love's a battlefield, but sometimes walking away is the only way to win. Ella's eyes land on her portrait, the woman's face now fully clear. Its whole complete, both sides balanced. With quiet resolve, she raises her glass of wine to her lips, her gaze steady.